God be the glory. I serve a God that loves unconditionally. I think he's a fan of basketball because he loves me. And but he's not your typical fan because his love is unconditional. It ain't based on how much you win by, how much you lose by. So I give him praise and glory. Hey, tough game to go through. One of our coaches described it as a perfect storm. That might be could be a little bit of an understatement, but maybe more of a correct statement. You know, it was a big game like every game, and you know, I got to give Akron credit, Coach Dan Brock. I kind of knew what we was walking into because I know, you know, Akron's competitiveness and their really, I mean, their tradition. You know, they one game behind us. I knew this was going to be a big game for them, and you know, they played like it. And you know, from my point of view as a coach, you know, we got to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we can play defense and get better. That's something I have to do as a coach. But sometime you know, this game's in the book. Sometime, you know, this is definitely an attention getter for me. And sometimes that's it's all about how you respond. So you know, I'm hoping and praying that we'll respond the right way, and come Thursday, we'll be ready to go to work to get better.
Coach, you talk about in such a big game on your home floor, have a result like that. How disappointing is it?
Oh, it's it's definitely disappointing. Oh yeah, it was a tough game to watch. I mean, we didn't have any answers. We had no answers. Offensively, defensively, we had no answer. If you had to draw up a worst case scenario, this probably was it. But at the end of the day, like you said, well, I don't know if you said it, but the game's over. You know, the game's in the book. Nothing you can do to change the score. You know, I always feel for the fans and the people that support. But you know, that's basketball. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, you have games where like it is a perfect storm, but you hope that they don't happen too often, and you know, the game's over. There's nothing I can do about this. The only thing we can do is go from here. So, I serve a God that is not a discourager. You know, and I know from history that He can work it all out for good. How that is and the way He does it, I don't know. I'm not God. My thoughts are not His thoughts. My ways are not His ways. But I trusted Him this far, and I'm gonna keep trusting Him. And our guys, we got a good group of guys, and my expectations are high. Because at the end of the day, you look at this here. You look at both teams' records. Now, we lost by 35, but you look at our MAC records, we both 75. Now, we could have lost by 5, we could have won by 5. But at the end of the day, that's where we are, and it's about where we go from here. So I ain't gonna feel sorry for myself. The game is over, you know, and you know, I'm disappointed, but disappointment ain't gonna change the score. It is what it is, you know. It's what you do from here. And fellas, if you live long enough, you're gonna have to get back up from getting knocked down and from disappointments. If you live long enough, you might already. So there's always a lesson to learn. And I'm 52, and tonight I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So.
Coach, obviously, they had a huge night shooting threes, but that obscures some of the other things that they did very well. Will you talk about some of the other things they did well?
Well, you know what, they you know, some of our traps, you know, they really took advantage of. And you know what, I knew going into this game, besides the fact that I knew it was a big game for both teams, and I knew how Akron would look at this game. They one of the tougher teams to zone because they can put 4 shooters on the court at one time. They can put 4 guys on the court. Then they got the big fella, Big Zeke, who's gotten better and better. And you know, if you double team him, they make the right passes. And we haven't been guarding well in the last few games anyway. So I think they came in with some you know, some decisions on how to handle some of our traps. We knew we had to rebound and be tough with the ball, and you know. And then on the offensive end, we knew that they get out, deny the wings, and make it tough. So we had a cold shoot night. You know, you can't let a team shoot 55%, go 16 for 28 from 3, and then you shoot 30% and you go 0 for 8 from 3. You know, you put those two together, I don't know if they always add up to a 35-point loss, but it did tonight. So, you know, you gotta, you know, for me, I gotta move on from it. But like I said, it's always how you respond in these situations. But yeah, it's obvious they did a lot of things right, and we didn't do many things right.
You guys got anything else? All right.